welcome back to my channel. My name is Lilian Tahmasian. So today is episode 2 of my new series where I am going to be interviewing influential, amazing, inspiring people. And today we are at Lavella Bridal. So I'm so excited to do this interview with the amazing, beautiful, talented Nayri. She's such an inspiration. So let's get into it. Before we jump into it, do not forget to subscribe to my channel, thumbs up this video, and as always, comment below all your thoughts and feedback below. I love you guys. Let's get into it. Bye. Hello my loves, I hope you really enjoyed watching this video. We had so much fun filming it with the beautiful Nori at Lavella Bridal. But before we jump into it, I want to thank our sponsor for this video. So Kamine is a company that created the perfect wedding pad, which looks like this. So in it you'll find several pads like this. All you have to do is open it. One side is to get rid of dead skin cells. It's a bit more rough. It looks like gauze. And then the other side is much more softer, and that is to moisturize and care for your skin. I'm going to give you guys a quick demonstration. Enjoy the video. So the entire process is a few minutes only. After washing your face, use the first step of skincare, which is gently washing dead skin cells and dirt from your face using the gauze side. And even if you think you've already washed your face, look at all this dirt that came off after washing my face. The next step would be to soothe and moisturize your skin with the embossed side to make it hydrated. And then you can go ahead and apply your makeup, which goes on perfectly well after. I hope this video helped, and if you're looking for a quick skincare routine that takes a few seconds literally, I'm going to be linking them below on the Amazon page. Let me know what you think. Enjoy the video. Bye! So I am here with the beautiful, amazing Nori. So we're going to get started on the questions. You're an amazing wedding fashion expert. I want to know, how did you get started and how did you end up here in Glendale at Lavella Bridal?
Such a loaded question. I actually believe I was born to be in bridal. My earliest childhood memory was designing dresses and bath towels and walking down the stairs and seeing the towel fabric drape and drag behind me. No. So I've always had this obsession of fabric and manipulating material, and I was obsessed with a train. Like the idea of fabric trailing behind me. Wedding stuff just found me. So my aunt was a florist, so I was very involved when I was younger, just helping her with the flower arrangements as she was doing events and things like that. So I was just exposed to wedding things every which way. It was like my calling, right? I love fashion, absolutely obsessed with fashion. It was a no-brainer to help women find the most important article of clothing they'll ever wear. So everything just sort of added up and led me here, and I've been here for over a decade and counting.
I got over a decade. That's crazy. That's insane. You're especially like around her energy. There's like this like beautiful drive that you just almost like, it's like, I don't know, it's like this cosmic energy that you feel. And I'm not even just saying that. So my next question is, where does this drive come from? I feel like you're such an inspiring workaholic, if I can say so. And I'm just like, where do you get that energy? Like, where does this come from? And what does your day-to-day look like? That's like 5 questions in one, but answer them all.
All of it's a loaded question, but it's good. So my drive comes from so many different things. Obviously, my family immigrated to the US from Armenia, and I have been given an opportunity that so many past generations of my family haven't had. So that's my number one driver, is that I was put here and I've been blessed with so much opportunity, and to waste it would be an absolute shame. My second motivator would be the fact that I love what I do. And am I a workaholic? Yes, and by choice. Like, I genuinely love what I do so much, it doesn't feel like work. Yeah. That was really important to me. Whatever career I had, yes, of course I need to earn money to make a living, but it was passion first, and money will just follow. Everything will follow suit, right? Yeah. Yes, I'm working constantly and I'm a workaholic. It's my joy, pleasure, and privilege to do it. So some people would definitely consider my relationship with work unhealthy and that I am a workaholic. However, I'm so passionate about what I do, it doesn't feel like work. And I think that that's the primary thing that drives me. However, yes, it could be unhealthy, and my body told me so by giving me migraines with aura, where I lose my vision and I'm down for multiple days, and it's horrible. It's like the worst hangover if you were to be drinking alcohol, like binge drinking and having a hangover. Yeah, it's a horrible hangover, like awful. So I went to a bunch of neurologists and just trying to figure out what the root cause of it was. And it came down to it being my workload. So the neurologist said, you can take all these different medications, try each one every time you have a migraine, see what works with your body. Or you could come work for me because you have an incredible work ethic. And I told her that was out of the question. And then her last suggestion, which was the golden nugget of the whole appointment, was you need to change your lifestyle. So I loved what I did so much to the point that I just didn't know how to take time off because I loved it. Like, it was just heartfelt and just such a strong passion of mine. So I reassessed, and she said to me, make time for things that you've never made time for and that you've always wanted to do.
And what was that?
So I sat back, and it took me a moment to kind of figure it out, but I've always wanted to ride horses and own my own horse one day. So I called my aunt's horse trainer and I said, I would love to come take lessons. And she said, well, she said, you're an adult and you don't know how to ride. And I rode when I was younger, but I wanted to do a new discipline that I didn't know how to ride. And she said, I usually start with children or adults that have had some sort of experience, and you'd have to be willing to purchase a horse. And in my head, I'm like, I could never.
God, stop.
Yeah. So I said I could never afford a horse. Like, that's not gonna happen. That's not a thing. And I told her, I'm like, yeah, for sure. I'm gonna buy a horse. I'm in.
Yeah.
And so she took a leap of faith and allowed me to start riding. And a year later, I bought my first horse, and now I have 2 horses.
What?
And I compete.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so it's evolved, and now I have a better work-life balance, and I fully understood what my passion is, what my workflow needs to be. So to answer the question of my day-to-day life, every day is different, but I ride horses 2 days a week. The other 2 days a week, I work out in Santa Barbara, and I work from home. So those will be the days that I'm doing my YouTube video edits or social media prep, emails. I do a lot of education within the bridal industry. So I'll have my Zoom education days on those days. And then 3 days out of the week, I'll be at Lavella. So I'm out of the store 4 days.
Honestly, I don't even know what you're going to talk about. What an inspiration. Firstly, they always say, find something that you love and you have passion about, and then figure out a way to make money from it, right? So I think you've hit the nail on the head with that one. And then you just have such great work ethic, and I think that's what we need in today's day and age. I feel like people lack that sometimes, and they need to see inspiring people like her. So you have been in the industry for quite some time now. How has the bridal industry changed from when you began to now?
The biggest change fashion-wise has been gowns being more revealing and black dresses being a trend.
I know, look at it.
That's been the biggest change in terms of trends. However, within the industry, it's interesting. It evolves. As I get older, brides get younger. So it's an interesting, it's an interesting dynamic, and this new generation comes into play, and it's fun. I majored in sociology in college, right? And it's the study of people and behavior and culture, which is why I think the wedding industry and fashion and people is something that I'm just so interested in and love thoroughly. And so it's cool. I'm always studying behavior and women and what they want and what they don't want. I love it. I enjoy the change, but it's definitely the fact that they get younger as I get older, which is weird because I used to be the same age as the majority of brides, which I still am, but it's interesting, that dynamic shift. So those are the 2 biggest changes I've seen.
And what's like I'm just interested to find out, what's like the youngest, or roughly what age do they get married at now?
So I would say from the early 20s to mid to late 30s is gonna be your range, but the early 20s, that's a 10-year age gap from me, where I used to be helping brides in my early 20s. And so it's just a different dynamic, it's a different role, and it's not bad or good, it's just different.
What is a bridal or wedding dress myth that needs to be debunked? What's a crazy myth that you've heard of?
One of the biggest myths that I see day in and day out is brides think that they're supposed to have this emotional reaction in the dress that they're supposed to say yes to, and they're supposed to cry and have that say yes to the dress TV moment. And the reality is, if you're not a crier or an emotional decision maker,
you're not gonna stop crying.
Exactly. So I find that brides are looking for this feeling or this you know, this emotional moment that you don't really need to be looking for. Like sometimes you just know it's the one and it just clicks and everything aligns beautifully, and that's okay. And I think the other myth, and maybe it's not a myth, but just something I'd advise people on, is don't compare your experience to others. Whatever other women had as their experience is finding their dress, don't compare yourself, because their experience is individual, your experience is individual, and everyone's is going to be uniquely their own.
Yeah. No, that's a good one, because I feel like we get so thrown in, especially because of social media, into like comparing, but I didn't feel like that, I didn't look like that, my wedding must have been not have gone as well, but that's not the case.
No, not at all.
So this is one of my favorite questions. What is like a horror story you've come across? Because I'm sure you've met and you've seen and you've heard a lot of things. What's like a crazy story that you've heard when it comes to love?
When it comes
Or like weddings?
I don't know that this fully counts as a horror story, but I think we need to just take the stigma of this away, of weddings getting canceled. It happens more often than people think, and we have a lot of weddings a year that get canceled, and you know, brides decide not to marry their fiance. And I think that there's a lot of social stigma and negativity around this, where you feel ashamed or embarrassed or sad and whatever it may be. And I actually have so much respect for the brides who say, you know, I'm gonna take a pause here and I'm gonna recognize that yes, I've planned this wedding, yes, I've bought this dress, but I'm gonna pull the plug because it doesn't feel right. And certain things, and certain things just happen that doesn't feel right. And I respect you for backing away ahead of time than going through with it because you didn't have the courage or the voice to speak up and pull that plug.
Yeah, so I think that it's better to have done it way before the wedding than knowing something's wrong or something's off and then going through with it and being like, I don't think I made the right choice. But I love that.
Which happens as well. And I have a lot of couples that do get married and they get divorced soon after, which whatever works for you, but I don't want women to be ashamed of the wedding getting called off. It's getting called off for a reason, and I've had so many brides come back to me the second time when they found the right person, and they're like, it's so much more special now. Wow. Yeah, and they come back because they had such a beautiful experience in our store and with us, and they come back and they just pick another dress. And sometimes I've had one bride who, a couple who were supposed to get married, decided to call the wedding off. They separated and then found each other again and ended up getting married, and she wore the same dress, and it was like 3 years later. And it's the same person. Like, that's a very rare and unique case, but it happens. Like, it happens more than people think.
I know, and I didn't know that until you said that to me a few months ago, and I was like, no way. And she's like, all the time.
All the time.
I love that though. You have to do what's right for you, and I think you know, and I always say this, you can lie and manipulate the situation, but you can never lie to yourself, A. And B, I feel like you know, and I feel like also, and I said this to my followers a lot too, things should be easy. Life's hard, but everything should go with the flow. And when you know it's not with the flow, you should, you know.
Hit the eject button.
So what is the ultimate wedding dress checklist?
The ultimate wedding dress checklist, which I recently did a YouTube video on this, of all the things that you should bring with you.
We're gonna link it.
We'll link that, and then also I plan to do, this is accountability right here.
Okay.
I'm supposed to create a PDF of a physical checklist that you can download and just literally print out if you want to, or on your phone and check it off.
So if you haven't done that, Nori, we're coming after you.
You're coming after me because that has to be out by the time this video airs.
You don't have much longer.
Okay, so I better get on it.
Yeah, seriously.
I would say the most important thing to bring with you is people who are super important to create that memory with, but also that are gonna be very valuable for you at that appointment. So if you know one of your best friends has complete opposite taste and he or she is going to push you to wear or try things that you know doesn't feel authentically you, don't bring them.
Yeah.
Just don't bring them, because it really messes with you.
It really does though.
It does. I wrote a book that's called I'm Getting Married and Have Nothing to Wear. And in one of the chapters, I talk about what's called the bride's secret. So I often tell people, if you don't want to include people and you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, you can just tell people, I want you to be surprised by my dress, just like my fiance is being surprised by the dress.
I love that answer.
So that's nice too. So think about that. Think about who you want to bring. Think about who's actually going to add value into your appointment and not mentally fry you or mess with you and make this a more challenging experience than it needs to be. And then the other most important thing is nude undergarments, because hot pink underwear and black underwear do not look good.
Yeah.
So, and it's distracting. And you come out, and if you have someone there that maybe you're shy around, now everyone's staring at the underwear. The last and final thing that I'll tell you right now would be hair and makeup. Come done. If you don't normally wear makeup, no worries, then don't do it. But if you don't feel good about yourself that day, and you're having a bad day, or it's just not your day, like cancel your appointment. Yeah. Cancel your appointment.
So you recommend that?
Yeah, okay. Don't come in. As much as we really want you to come in and we value the appointment, but if it's not going to be productive for you and you don't feel your best, you're bloated, your hair and makeup, and you're not going to feel pretty, it's not productive for anybody. Lastly, be prepared to buy the dress, because if you're shopping and you don't have the funds, or you haven't figured out who's paying, or you don't know, like, you're wasting everybody's time, because you're gathering everyone together, your guests, you, the stylist, you're just investing time to go shopping. And if you're not ready to make a decision, you're wasting everybody's time.
She's like obviously an expert at what she does. Listening about all of this, I'm like, wow, it's crazy how your answers are something completely different, and they're so detailed because you've been doing this for so long.
So long.
I'm like, wow, that's insane. So wait, going back to what you said about like the funds, I know people are dying to know, because I know this is like culturally, like it depends, but who pays for the dress?
Great question. So obviously we're in the greater Los Angeles area. We have all different cultures, all different religions, all different traditions. It varies. Everybody is different. Sometimes it's the in-law, sometimes it's the fiance, sometimes it's the bride, sometimes it's the parents, grandmother. There's no right or wrong answer to this, but you need to identify who that person is and how much they're willing to invest. And you also have to be able to identify, what does the dollar buy you? Like, what does the dollar buy you in dresses? Sometimes people come in and they're like, oh, I want to spend X amount of dollars. And I'm like, that's not realistic. Like, gowns don't even start there. So figure out what the dollar buys you. And on our website, lavellabridal.com, we do this specifically. We have all of our designers and the dresses that we have in store, majority of them, not all of them, and a price range, so that brides kind of get an idea of what collection ranges where.
I've come here a lot recently. Absolutely love the service, love the staff. Everyone's so beautiful, friendly, it's very homey. But I would love to hear from you, like, what sets Lavella apart? Why should people come to Lavella?
I love this question so much. Lavella, one, we have an extremely large collection of dresses from each of our designers. We invest so much in a really large selection. Second is gonna be the people. I mean, we work so hard at having a team that is so passionate about what they do. They are knowledgeable. You're gonna get a level of expertise and selection from our store that is unparalleled. And those aren't just my words, that's our clients telling us that as well. However, I will say, like, we're not the right fit for everybody, right? Because if you don't value a luxury experience or service, or a stylist that's gonna say, hey, I have the perfect dress for you. If you wanna be the know-it-all bride that's gonna go do the shopping yourself, that's not us. You get a stylist that knows what she's talking about, and she knows her stuff, and you get that complimentary, and all you have to do is purchase the dress, right? So you are getting so much value in Lavella. That's what sets us apart. You're getting a true expert. But if you don't want a true expert and you think you're the expert, you're likely not a good fit for Lavella, because we're looking for the bride who wants to be pampered.
So a few months ago, we filmed a few TikToks and you guys loved it. Thank you so much for watching and supporting us. So a lot of the comments were about our body types, and a lot of people wanted to know, for example, I'm naturally curvy with hips. What type of dresses and styles would you recommend for someone like me?
This is literally my most popular DM question on Instagram that I get all the time. The answer to that question is that there is no formula of, if you have X, Y, or Z body type, this dress is your answer. My answer to you is that you have to start trying dresses on and see what makes you feel beautiful. Because I have had short, curvy brides look good in every single different style. Your proportion may be different. Your confidence level with your belly, with your arms, with your neck, whatever it is, your shoulders, will be different. And everybody's personality is different. So the dresses are just a skeleton without a body in it. And then all of a sudden you put the body in it and it comes alive. So it needs that body to come alive, and you don't know what's gonna look good until you start trying. And you try on all the different shapes and sizes and different necklines and determine what you love on your body.
And you never know, because I feel like she put me in this dress. I would never normally wear a dress like this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel so put together. And I love it, absolutely love it. Okay, that's good to know. So last question, and I'm dying to hear your answer. So you are a very inspiring person, obviously. You have done an incredible job at what you do. If you could give one advice to my beautiful followers, what would that advice be? For anyone wanting to reach their goals, build their business, chase their dreams, what would your answer be?
My advice would be, don't compare yourself to anyone. Don't listen to some of the closest people around you, because some of the closest people around you may have internal fears that they are projecting to you, and I've had that happen before. I didn't listen to them. I followed my gut. So follow your gut, number one. And number two, fear is normal. If it doesn't scare you, then it's not big enough.
I love that, yeah.
So I think that fear is something that's actually, it's a green light. It's not a red flag, right? Like that is a green light to go, because fear means you're on the cusp of something big and it's a risk. And without risk, there's no reward. And you're the only one holding yourself back, and you're your only competition. Your only competition is who you were yesterday. Don't compare yourself to others. Stay focused, stay in your lane. Fear is a good thing. Yeah, and just be better than you were yesterday.
Oh my God, I feel inspired already. I'm going to take over the world tomorrow.
I love it. That was the goal.
Thank you. And you've done your job. Thank you so much. But oh my gosh, you guys, that's our video. I really hope you guys liked it. Any last words or saying? You guys should go stalk her, and stalk her on Instagram. Follow her Instagram. I'm going to link it right here. Go check out her book on Amazon. It's called
Getting Married and Have Nothing to Wear, the ultimate guide to finding your perfect wedding dress.
That's all you need, you guys. So just go purchase that book and let us know what you think. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, thumbs up this video, and leave all your comments and thoughts below. Maybe we should film a second part 2 video. Let us know if you want that and what that would be. But yeah, any last words? Or
thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored, and it's a privilege. And yeah, let us know what you want from us. We'll make more content. We'll make more TikToks together.
We love doing our TikToks, so let us know. But I love you guys so much. Keep smiling and have a beautiful day. Bye.